We got some news and some tips and tricks to get into today. Just a tip, of course, as we dive straight into more 12.0.5 content. Also, probably one of the most amazing collector's items ever released by Blizzard. I'm going to talk about that one real quick. And some ways to currently play the game, get more loot, and some nice things to be had here. So let's just dive straight in. For quick patch notes, as we've been kind of ritually or daily, there's patch notes available every day now to talk about. So here we go. Evoker, we got some class changes and fixes going live. Flame Shaper, Twin Flame no longer bounces to enemy targets that the Evoker is not in combat with. They also fixed an issue where Titan's Gift and Titan's Wrath, or Titanic Wrath, were not increasing the damage if the final few ticks of Disintegrate and Preservation and for Devastation Evokers. For Shamans, an all damage dealt increase by 12%. So this is not just a hot fix. We're seeing Restoration Shamans only. I probably got a lot of Shamans out there excited. For Restoration Shamans, a nice buff. The only buff we're seeing here right now. Developer notes here say that they intended for them to have a 30% buff when this patch went live. Unfortunately, due to some bugs, that didn't go all the way, so they have to kind of finish it out with this last 12% buff to bring them to the 30 that they originally wanted. So there you go. For Warlocks, we see a fix here where Affliction had some issues with Fatal Echoes that would consume a Soul Shard when activated. Also fixed an issue where Unstable Affliction would consume all stacks of Shard instability. For Warriors, for Arms specifically, we see Slams from Fervor of Battle, which critically strike will now correctly trigger mortal wounds, and deep wounds applied by Execute no longer deal double the intended damage. That's kind of a nerf there. For Decor Duels, a couple fixes, Housing as well, a few item fixes, Professions, reputational shit, and Void Assault fixes. So there you go. Nice little patch rundown there. Now let's get into some of the more interesting stuff here. We're doing a lot of these ritual sites and shit, but also delves are still very relevant, guys. A great way, obviously, to get some crests and other things. And right now, you're getting so many coffer key shards from all the stuff we're doing. Just a quick reminder here, some of the easiest delves to do in the game. You guys can screenshot this. I'll link this down below and in the chat as well. But a quick list of the easiest delves to run as ranked out by the player base. So here you go. Currently, the S tier, the only S tier, is Collegiate Calamity with the Invasive Glow story. Remember, all these delves have little different storylines, so this is the one right now that is considered to be the easiest by far. For A tier, we have the Dark Way with Ogre-powered story, the Gulf of Memory with Sporosaur special, the Parelian Plaza with Holding the Line, and then the Collegiate Calamity as well with the Academy Under Siege. So Collegiate Calamity also having a B tier version here. Collegiate Calamity seems to be the best one overall to get done. You guys can go through this. I won't read through this entire list, but yeah, plenty to do here. And Delve's still a great way to play this game. Just ask Greg from accounting, although he's been doing ritual sites lately. I talked to him just the other day. Yeah, the guy's been loving ritual sites. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second. Toot, thank you for that follow, man. Welcome to our Scourge. So this bonus roll hack, guys, will really help you guys out here as we continue to use these bonus rolls. So everyone out there playing right now, right, we're getting our bonus rolls, getting those void cores or those nebulous void cores to get those bonus rolls out. And here's a quick trick or a little hack, I guess you could say, for how to make sure that you get the items you want. A lot of these items right now are kind of across the board for all specs, right? So depending on what spec you're rolling as, you could have a better shot at getting the actual trinket, say, that you want, maybe than rolling as a different spec. So checking what the current loot table is for each of your specs, if you're going to roll on them, is really important. For example here, if you switch your spec as a DK from Frost or Unholy to Blood, you have a better chance at getting that Chimeras, best in slot trinket, because the Blood table actually only has 3 items that you could potentially get, while the other Frost and Unholy have 4 items each that you could get. So you're dropping 1 item off of that list, giving you a higher chance of actually getting that trinket that you want there. So it's not really a hack. But it is obviously an upgrading of your chances to be able to get this shit done. For Toot here, do I watch this live to get the pet after 4 hours? Yes, you could. Yeah, the drop is still active. Another thing here, another little tip for you guys about ritual sites. As I said before, Greg's been loving these things. I think ritual sites are the best add in this patch right now. I actually enjoy doing them as a 5-man. But here's a real quick way, as a solo player, as a Greg of accounting, or whoever you are, to be able to run this shit by yourself and get the most out of it. Right now, you can obviously get Heroic Dawn Crest from these things, and running this way will get you up to 80 Dawn Crests, 300 field accolades per hour. That's right. What you got to do here is run a Tier 5 Dagger Spine Point Ritual Site with these 4 active reinforcers, or whatever the hell they call them in this thing. We got Tendrils, Manifestation, Patrols, and Reinforced. Okay, these are the 4 that you're going to want to have these affixes active. I don't know what they actually call them, but they're affixes essentially. Having these 4 active, running this ritual site, and taking the path that this man shows here in the video, you can get this shit done real quick. I mean, 80 Dawn Crests in an hour, that's pretty good. I think the only thing maybe comparable is if you just get really good at running delves, just pumping through those. But doing this, he's only doing it at 255 item level alt. He's being able to pump this out. So if you got a higher item level than that, which a lot of people do right now, you'll be able to do this even quicker than in just an hour. So a nice little tip right now while this ritual site is active right now, right? Dagger Spine is the active one. These switch every week on resets. So get these runs in while you still can. Now, speaking of the Dagger Spine ritual site, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the mounts that you can get. If you remember the previous ritual site, there was like a secret mount you could get that could drop off of one of the spawns. Well, right now we got 2 mounts that can be had from this specific ritual site. Specifically, actually, the Broken Throne ritual site right now that's active. So going through this one, you can get the Void Corrupted Eagle Talon, which is actually not that hard to get. Both objectives are really close to each other. All you got to do is place a candle. So you'll pick up this candle and place it on the Skull Ritual Circle. These things are marked right here on this map with coordinates. You can check this out. I'll link this in the chat and down below the video. Thank you, Reckless Discharge. Oh no, discharging recklessly. That sounds bad. Thank you for the follow and welcome to our Scourge. Yeah, that one just threw me off. So the ritual site, going and using the candle here, you can get that mount, the Void Corrupted Eagle Talon, by doing this thing. Once you perform the ritual, Chuck, thank you for the follow as well. Once you do the ritual, right, you'll spawn the little animal boy here, and you'll be able to fight him off and actually get the mount here. So this is a pretty badass looking mount. If I have to say, like, the purple shit's getting a little bit old, but I'm not gonna lie, this one's probably one of the cooler looking ones. It's all necrotic looking shit. A pretty badass looking mount, if you ask me. Now, another one that we can get from one of the currently active ritual sites, you can go in and get a new Amani Warbear. That's right, the Twilight's Blade captured an Amani Warbear, and you can go into the Broken Throne ritual site and free her. So the way you're going to do this actually is you're actually going to get a pet in the process as well. So first off, you're going to go into the ritual site and look for chubs. That's right, chubs can be found by feeding a lost bear cub, practically pork, on at least a tier 2 difficulty or higher. You can then you can find the stealth lost bear cub to the left of the set of stairs nestled behind the tree. So there's a little marker here. I'll link this one in the chat and down below as well if you guys want to go get this one. Pretty easy to get, it looks like. You go find the bear cub, you feed it, and then you summon the bear cub. Once you feed it, you're going to get the pet, right? A nice little pet here, a nice Amani Warbear pet.
Always use another
Nutter Scout coming in, gifted tier. Thank you, Anonymous, for the gifted tier 1 sub. Man, I appreciate that, whoever that was. Thank you. Taking this bear cub to its mother and then feeding the mother. Basically, the mother's going to enrage. Okay, you'll have to fight off the mother for bringing her cub. I don't know why she's getting mad at you. And then you got to feed her 5 practically pork as well. Once you do that, you will receive the Void Corrupted Amani Warbear kit. This is a pretty good-looking warbear. You know, just another Amani warbear. This is a blue variation of it. And by the way, like I said, you get another pet out of this one too. So a nice little quest here. 2 other hidden mounts in these ritual sites that you can get. Pretty easy to do, if you ask me. And then looking right now at the trading post, after you get your warbear and your eagle, maybe you're feeling like a Gilnean again. That's right. This is a Gilnean-themed trading post that's coming next month. Looks like a pretty good one. I think Gilneans are pretty badass for the most part, unless they go full furry. But for now, we're going to be able to get some of the coolest looking horses in the game. I talked about these horses back when we saw them data mine not too long ago. Badass looking horses. I'm going to get both of these for sure off the trading post. Yeah, some flower shit. I mean, that seems like a requirement these days in WoW. Also, I mean, Jesus Christ. Is playing as a Volpera or a Worgen not enough? You got to also wear a furry costume now in game. So you can also get this one, sure, if you want it. But besides that, this is the cooler shit here. All these Gilnean attire, these look pretty cool. This awesome-looking Gilnean tabard. A bunch of basically leather straps and all kinds of shit here for Gilnean-themed items. So these look pretty cool. If you want to get them, these will be the trading post items. Here's all the costs of all these items that you'll be able to get. Also, some really cool Gilnean-themed weapons. Yeah, spiky looking shit, a bunch of stuff with, wolf heads on them and stuff. Definitely some cool looking stuff. Probably one of the cooler trading posts we've had in a little while now. So there you go. And this month's bonus reward is a nice little Preywood Rebel streetwear. So there you go. This is the end of trading post reward here. You guys will be able to get this one by filling out the trading post. And finally, if you're sitting there with about $1,640 in your bank account right now, fuck your bills, fuck your mortgage, and fuck everything else, I know what you need to spend it on. That's right. Blizzard has officially brought to life a Lich King figure in all of its glory. I gotta play the correct song here. Let's get the right song going. Yeah, this is perfect. Here we go. Check it out, guys, in all of its glory. Blizzard has released a full-on figurine of the Lich King on Invincible. That's right, I can't believe it. This thing is probably the coolest looking figure I have ever seen Blizzard release. And they've released some cool ones. I got two up here. I got Arthas right here, sitting in all of his glory. And I got the big boy, Griffin with the dwarf on the back. But nothing compares to this. Look at the detail in this thing. Yeah, it's expensive as shit. And my wife would probably divorce me for going ahead and buying this one. But I might have to take that challenge on because this looks unbelievable. Fully sitting there on a freaking icy throne. The detail looks unbelievable. This thing is absolutely glorious. Probably, like I said, the best looking figure I have ever seen Blizzard make. It's so good. I mean, my God. I don't think... Oh, it's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. Yeah, it count as a business expense. Oh, I sure would. Well, there it is. If you want to get it, as I said before, it is available now. You can order it. It's a collector's edition statue of Invincible. It could be yours for the low price, as I said before, of $1,640. It'll be made available between April 26th, 2026 and May 2027. Jesus, that's a pretty long timeline there. Expected to ship between those days. I think they meant... It would make sense if they meant 2026 here. I don't know about a year of potentially shipping this thing. I think that's a typo right there. But anyways, like I said before, this could be yours. Highly detailed, pretty good looking statue. And for today, oh man, I'm going to have to save this picture for later. That is all in terms of news.